So I know that this topic is not something unique. There are a lot of videos out there just like this, but at the same time, I don't feel that there are enough. I think that this needs to be talked about a lot more, because even if you know this, I think you need to be reminded of it to really get it into your mind. I'm on Instagram a lot, so this is something that definitely affects my life. But this is not just about Instagram. This could be for whatever social media platform you're spending a lot of time on. If you find yourself comparing your life, your looks, I don't know, your success, your followers, to someone on Instagram or social media who you don't know in real life, stop. Don't do that. So the thing about social media is that anybody can be on social media. I can post, you can post, like anybody's mom's cat can post. So we all know not to compare ourselves to people that we see on TV, right? We kind of know that, movie stars have professional lighting, makeup artists, personal trainers, wardrobe people, they have everything, everyone working for them to make sure that they look perfect for the project. And we know this. We don't really look at characters on TV and think, why don't I just look like that? Just walking around my house, why don't I look like that? Perfect makeup, perfect outfit, We don't really think like that for TV, at least I don't think most of us do. But I think something that we need to realize is a lot of the pictures you run into on Instagram, just that look like casual pictures on the beach or in a store, out shopping, whatever, those are often actually professional pictures with lighting, special makeup, whatever. It's not just like they handed their phone to their friend when they were hanging out and they're like, take a picture of me, and then they snap one picture and they just upload it immediately. And it looks absolutely perfect. But that's kind of how it comes across. That's often how it comes across to people observing these pictures. But in reality, they probably took 25 pictures in all different poses with all different angles. They probably spent a lot of extra time on their makeup. And if they're, a model or, Insta model, whatever, it might even be a professional photo shoot that just is kind of set to look like a casual out and about scene, but it's professional. Lighting, good camera, extra makeup, editing, which is a whole nother thing. But they probably took 67 pictures before they got the one that they ended up posting online. And I'm not like a supermodel or anything, obviously, but with my little experience in the modeling world, super extra makeup looks the best on camera. Makeup that kind of looks a little bit crazy in person actually comes across really well on camera. Like when I first started modeling, I was doing my own makeup because that's kind of how it is when you're freelance modeling, at least in the beginning. And I would usually do makeup like how I would normally do it for going out or whatever, because I thought, that's what looks good on me, so it's gonna be the right makeup to do. But as I got more practice with being on camera, I learned that you need to take your normal makeup and step it up like a million notches, and then it will look perfect on camera. So one time I had to do a shoot right after I got off a plane, and it was a long plane ride, so I did my makeup on the plane, and you know, like, I just did it in the seat with a tiny little hand mirror. The lighting's like not very good, you know, so I really caked it on because I couldn't tell how heavy I was putting it on. And then when I got up to go to the bathroom and looked in the mirror, I was like, it looked crazy. It looked so bad. Like, I had put on a lot of concealer. My whole face looked like white, very, very white. It just looked way too heavy, way too much. And then when I saw the recordings from the set that day, it looked perfect. It ended up being the perfect makeup for being on set, with all the harsher lights and, you know, like, the camera. It just looks different on camera. Like, even right now, I kind of went crazy. I did a lot of makeup today. It probably looks kind of too much in person, but when I watch this footage back, I'm sure I'll think that it looks good on the camera. So basically, point is, just remember that if you find yourself thinking that you don't look as good as these people on social media, just remember that things look different on camera than they do in real life, whether that's photo or video, whether it's on Instagram, YouTube, whatever you use. So then, of course, there's the whole thing with Photoshop and Facetune and stuff like that. I could make a whole video on this, but for now, I'll just tell you this. Everybody Facetunes and Photoshops and edits, even if it's just a little bit. For me personally, the farthest I'll go is like blurring out pimples or acne, smoothing my skin, because it just makes for a better photo. I've never downloaded Facetune, but it seems like everyone uses it just based on how often I hear that name, Facetune. There's even like popular influencers who admit that they use Facetune. I think that's cool. If you can admit it, if you can make it clear that you're Facetuning your photos, there's still like deeper problems behind it, but I think it's cool to be honest about it, because there are also a lot of people who lie about it too, when there's no way that their skin is like naturally that smooth and glowy. There's no way their body is a certain shape, you know? Like, there's just no way. A photographer that I worked with one time, I was just starting out, and he had all these awesome pictures and videos of really hot Instagram models, you know, really perfect looking, lots of followers, of course. And when I worked with him, he actually told me that I was one of the few who actually looked in real life the way that I looked in my pictures, which was kind of shocking to me because there were so many just gorgeous looking, beautiful models that he had worked with. And to think that I was only one of like a few that doesn't Photoshop or Facetune or whatever was like weird. But that just goes to show that whether someone's trying to be a model or they're just trying to be an influencer, whatever they're doing on social media, it's pretty likely that they edited their stuff and are portraying it as just a natural picture, unedited. But if you're... think about being a popular influencer. Wouldn't you want to post the very best if you know that a lot of people are going to see it? So why wouldn't you at least maybe tweak your photos to how you want them to look? If you see a picture on Instagram, scrolling around, and you just see a picture of someone and you find yourself comparing yourself to them physically, just know that they probably edited it. Even if it's just in the slightest, it's probably edited. I'll admit it, I edit out pimples sometimes, but I want to make it clear that I don't have perfect skin. That's why I have, some videos with no makeup on here, and I'm working towards maybe posting a Instagram picture with no makeup. But I do use my Instagram for modeling, so I don't know, it makes me a little bit worried that a photographer won't want to work with me because they think I look like shit. But it's important that I do that. I think it's really important that everyone does that. I used to struggle with this a lot, and I'm not going to say that I completely am over it, but I recognize that if I don't know someone in real life, anything could be going on the other side of the internet, wherever they are. Anything could be happening over there, whether it's they look a certain way in person and they're editing their photos and videos, or whether it's they have a lot of problems in their life and they're portraying a life that's really perfect, or maybe it's a combination of both. Maybe you see their pictures and you wish you looked like that, but you don't know that they're going through an awful struggle right now in their life. So they don't have it perfect. You might wish you were them, but maybe they might wish they were you if they knew you, for different reasons. You just really don't know what's going on. You really don't. No matter how much you think you do, you don't. I'm sure a lot of the people that you see that you look up to are actually are actually the way that they are online in real life too. But even those people who seem to put their whole life out there, there's probably still a few things that you don't know about them, You really just don't know. So you really can't waste time comparing yourself to anyone you see on social media. It doesn't matter how sure you are that they have a great life, because you don't know unless you know them personally, or how sure you are that they have a perfect looking face because you've seen it in videos. But I'm pretty sure there are video filters too, like skin smoothing. I don't really know, but I'm not a very advanced video editor. I literally use iMovie for these, but if there's Snapchat filters that work with video, I'm sure there's video filters for the face and, whatever. By the time Instagram kind of turned into this place for Instagram models and influencers, I kind of already knew not to trust everything I saw, but I remember when I was a little bit younger, I was more on Tumblr than Instagram, and I remember seeing pictures on Tumblr of girls with just amazing, hourglass looking bodies and stuff like that, or skinny, or just really, really good looking people. Really attractive people on Tumblr. And maybe it wasn't even people posting it from their personal accounts. If I would just see a picture like that anywhere, even if someone reblogged it, and who knows where it originated, I would still think in my mind that some random person just like in their house or whatever, just took a quick picture of themselves, posted it on the internet, and it just blew up and everyone liked it. And I had no doubts about the reality of that image. I thought that whatever, I don't know, I thought that they were just a regular person just like me who took a photo of their perfect body, and there it was on the internet. And I would always feel kind of negative about myself, knowing that no matter how good I thought I looked a certain day, I would be like, well, I look good, but will never look as good as those Tumblr girls, you know, like. And looking back on that, I'm sure the same thing that I'm talking about right now that happens on Instagram was happening on Tumblr, like editing. Maybe some of those pictures were actually professional pictures. And it would have been cool to know back then that things were often less real than I thought. And that's why I'm telling everyone now, or, you know, reminding everyone, because this is not a new concept. I'm not coming up with this original idea, but I'm saying it again so that you don't forget. And hopefully, if this gets deeply into everyone's mind, we can all stop comparing ourselves to people on social media and thinking that they're great and thinking that we're not great. Because that's just not what it is. Like, it's just not. Okay? So I think it's sort of easier to be confident about yourself when you're not comparing yourself to other people as much. The first time I dyed my hair a crazy color was red, and I felt a huge boost of confidence. I was in high school, and I think at my high school I was the only one with that color at the time, I think. Or maybe the only one that I knew of, I don't know, but it was suddenly like there were so much less people I could just have this immediate physical comparison with. Like, when I was blonde, maybe I would see another blonde and be like, oh, she's like a hotter blonde than me or whatever. Maybe this is just me. I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but just based on my experience, that's how it was. Of course, now a million people have this hair. Like, crazy hair has become a lot more popular. But I guess the point is to recognize the things that you have that not everyone else has. You have a combination of things, and everybody has a combination of things, whether that's physical, mental, things in your life. And somebody might be jealous of you, even if they look perfect on Instagram, you know? There's room for success in everyone. There's room for everyone to be beautiful. You don't need to be the best looking one in the room, because everyone should be great in their own way, you know? There's room for every goth hoe to look super cute on Instagram. There's room for all of us. I don't need to be the hottest goth bitch. So yeah, I'm thinking of making a video maybe a little bit more focused on the whole Facetune Photoshop thing, because there's just too many people out there that are not being honest about how they're manipulating their photos, and I think that's really dangerous for other people's mental health. And I think it's important to portray good things if you have a large following. So yeah, subscribe or whatever if you want to see that. Maybe next week I'll do that. But yeah, I hope at least one person out there got some value from this video. Let me know if you have any opinions in the comments. And yeah.